So in this section we're going to go over adding categories, manufacturers, and products. Initially I was going to do the modules and templates chapter before we actually added products, but then I realized that the default layout here is really nice and it's really easy, really user-friendly to see how the products and the categories and everything is displayed. So I thought that we would do this before we go and mess around with modules and new templates. So I just want to go over the front end real quick and the product display. In the middle here we have an image slider, and I believe it's just showing the category images in each slide. And underneath we have featured products, which shows the products that were featured by default. You can feature any products you want and they'll show up here. It's all dynamic. You don't need to code any HTML or anything like that. And you have this new products module or block on the right, which shows all the latest products along with a description and a link to the product page. Specials, you can have specials and sales and have them display here or wherever. Let's see, tags, you can actually associate tags with products too, whether it be the actual product or the company or whatever. Categories, by default we have these 3 categories. If you hover on the home tab, it'll show the categories as well. And then we have the most viewed products, which is the products that users have clicked on the most. Manufacturers, suppliers. So you can see there's really good product display with this default template. So that's it for the front end. Now I want to actually add some stuff. We've set up the site. We have shipping. We have payment set up. Everything's ready to go. We have a default template and we can actually start adding stuff. So the first thing I want to add is a manufacturer. So by default we have Apple Computer and Shure Incorporated. So these are 2 manufacturers. I want to add a new one, and I'm going to add Dell just because it was the first thing that came to mind, not because I'm a Dell fanboy or anything like that. So I'm just going to put in a description. We'll just say Dell offers quality laptops and desktops. So logo, I actually downloaded the Dell logo that we can use. You can add some metadata here if you want, and you want to enable it. And that's all there is to creating a manufacturer. Now we want to create a supplier, which is basically the same exact thing, except, you know, for a manufacturer you have Apple, for the supplier you have Apple Store. So we're just going to create a new supplier, and let's just call it the Dell Store. Description, I don't know, this is the Dell Store. Phone number, address, I don't know, 44 Mass Ave 0193, Boston, United States, Massachusetts. Choose file, we'll choose the same logo and enable. So pretty much the same exact thing. That'll add a new supplier that we can use in our products. Alright, so now I want to create a category. By default we have iPods, accessories, and laptops, so I figured we'd add desktops. And we want this to be under home as our iPod, accessories, and laptops. So we'll leave the X for a root. This won't be a root category. We'll have all our products under the home category. Alright, so description, we'll say quality desktop PCs. And for an image, we can choose, I downloaded just a random desktop image. And you can also add metadata here. Friendly URL, which is nice, so we can have our site /desktops and not some long query, unfriendly query string. And you can restrict this category to certain groups if you want. We're gonna leave it as is, so we'll save that. So manufacturers, suppliers, and categories are very easy to add. Products have a little more options, so let's go ahead and create our first product. You can see all the sample, all the default ones. We're going to add a new product. Alright, so this is going to be a Dell Dimension. It's going to be a Dell Dimension PC. And I'm going to leave reference and UPC blank for now. Status is enabled. We want it visible everywhere, not just catalog or search. Options, online only, no. The condition, can have conditions, is new. Description. We'll just put 4500 PC. So tags, for instance, we can put Dell. Desktop, Dimension. So that's the basic information. You can see over here we have just a whole bunch of options for products. Alright, so pricing, leave wholesale blank. We're going to have a retail price of $4.50. The tax rule. For the tax rule, I'm going to choose Massachusetts tax rate. I'm going to leave the unit price at 0. So that's good. Alright. So let's save. Well, let's not save yet. Let's keep going. So SEO, meta title, we'll say Dell Dimension 4500. You can have a description if you want, keywords. The friendly URL you can generate, so we have a nice SEF URL for the product page. Associations, let's choose, let's leave home and choose desktops. The default category will be desktops. And manufacturer will be Dell. Any manufacturer you create is going to be available here. Alright, next let's go to shipping. Let's give it a weight of, I don't know, we'll say 7 pounds. So that should get into our range of 6 to 100 pounds, which I believe we did $25 shipping. We could add extra shipping here if we wanted. Carriers, we could manually choose standard, but standard is the default, so that's what it'll use. Combinations, looks like the rest of these we have to save before we can edit them. So let's go ahead and save our product. Alright, so here it is, the Dell Dimension. We didn't add an image yet, so let's go back into it. And so combinations, we could actually have a configurable item if we wanted to. Maybe have a monitor, something like that, but we're going to leave that as is for now. Quantities. Now we can enable advanced stock management, but I'm not going to do that right now. Let's just manually specify. Let's say we have 35 of these PCs. Alright, so now it's asking what to do when we go out of stock. Do we want to deny orders, allow orders, default? Yeah, so we want to deny or allow orders. We'll just keep it at the default, which is deny orders. And availability settings, minimum quantity 1. We can have displayed text when in stock, so we can have it say it's available, and when back ordering is allowed, we can say back order now. Okay, so we can have an available date if we want. So that looks good for quantities. Now images. So let's upload an image. I have an image of a Dell dimension. Remember, if you're on your live site, remember to check for copyright issues and make sure that you're allowed to use the images you do. Let's actually get another image. And this is just for show. This is just for just as a sample, so it really doesn't matter which images we have. It doesn't matter if they don't match. Where'd it go? Is that it? Did I even download it? Save it to downloads. Okay. There it is. Alright, so we get 2 images. Alright, so let's go to features, and we didn't define any features yet. Well, they do have some predefined ones: height, width, depth, weight. Just leave that as is. Customization. We can have custom fields if we want. This isn't going to have custom fields though. Attachments. We're not going to have any attachments. Suppliers. We want Dell. Alright, so let's save. So now we have our Dell Dimension PC. It's ID, I think that's the ID 35, $450. It's in the desktops category. Reference, I guess we should give it a reference number. Let's say Desco 1. Alright, so now let's go to the front end and reload. So now you can see we have a desktops category here, in here. If we go over to, actually we have it under featured products. I guess featured is new by default, so that's looks good. We have it over here under new products, so you can see there's a lot of different outlets where your products are displayed. So let's click on the product, go to the product page. So you can see we have the main image as well as the secondary image, and we can go back and forth and it'll display the big image, and you can even maximize it. Actually, you can maximize it and still use it like a slider, which is really cool. So we didn't have much info. We have an info tab though. We could share this product. We had it's available as our text if it's available. $450. So that looks really good. If we add it to cart, we can see it in our cart. Let's get rid of the iPod shuffle. We can see it in our cart, and you can see it added the $25 shipping because it's between 6 and 100 pounds, and it added the $2 handling that we had. So the total is $477. Alright, so that's how you add a product. I will see you in the next video.